Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to the first episode of my new Let's Build series. Pretty much this is basically how it's going to be going. I'm going to pre-record everything I'm doing, building, and going to do a voiceover explaining pretty much what I'm doing. So far right now, I am kind of laying out the foundations of the docks that I want to kind of set up, since it is going to be a kind of sea town village type thing. There has to be some docks, so I'm sitting here mapping out, I guess, where buildings are going to go. I'm not really quite sure what all the buildings are going to be. I know that the one right there is going to be a like a registration kind of building for when new people bring their boats in. They'll talk to that guy. And here you can see that I kind of wanted to make a storage area so people have a place to kind of store all their goods if they've gone trading, across the seas and stuff like that. But eventually I kind of changed my mind on what that building is going to be, which you'll see later on. But then here I'm clearing out some land just to make some stalls. So for all the stuff that people bring, they obviously want to maybe trade or sell them. So I kind of wanted to set up some stalls kind of right in the middle of pretty much the dock area. But I'm not really good at making stalls. I can make buildings pretty well, but when it comes to like small stalls and stuff like that, I'm not really the best. And here you can see me kind of standing there because I had some trouble getting out a wooden shovel so I can make a smooth tool using World Edit, since that little bit of land looked a little bit messed up since I kind of destroyed it. But I finally got it, and now it looks a little bit more natural. I'm gonna have to get rid of that stone though. Now this is the registration building that I was talking about. It's a little bit small. I wish I maybe made it a little bit bigger, but I think it works. It's just basically going to be an office, and that's about it. And here I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing with these stalls, because like I said, I have no idea. I ended up putting some fence posts and maybe, yeah, putting an awning, but I ended up giving up and moving on to the actual buildings that I put. I'm using moss stone on the bottom because obviously if it's close to the water, it's gonna get a little bit mossy since it's kind of just, sitting there. So I end up using moss stone on the bottom of the foundation just to give it a little bit more, I don't know, different look instead of just straight cobblestone all the way around. And I did moss stone all the way through these buildings, and like I said, I'm not really sure what the buildings are gonna be. I do have some ideas in mind, but I'm not quite sure. Those buildings are actually pretty small, and the ones that are connected there, the two on the left, I don't really know what I was doing with that. Those are just the two first things that I put down. I might cut that wall out in the middle and make just one big building, or I might have two just kind of smaller shops for maybe supplies of like fishing supplies or wood and things like that. And I also missed a piece of wood right there. I didn't really notice until now. Also, when I was recording this, for some reason, since I was using two different computers to record this, it wouldn't register me placing blocks sometimes. So I had to go back and kind of redo what I did because it was kind of spotty. But it ended up working out. So here obviously I'm building a dock so that you can get to all of the buildings here in the town, and I wanted to extend it up, but then I realized that it was pretty high, so I didn't really know what to do. And then eventually I realized that, well, if I'm going to connect everything, then I don't want everything to be the same color wood, so I went with the dark wood here. And then I came back and started doing the dock again, because then it would just be kind of one straight color, and I didn't really want that. I want things to look just a little bit different and not everything to be completely the same, because that would be kind of boring. So then here you see I'm kind of taking a look at this registration house now, and I'm sort of getting the idea of what I want to do, but I'm not quite sure yet. I know that I wanted to use wool instead of just straight wood, just to give it a little bit more color, but eventually I did stick with the wood, and I stuck with the dark wood on the outside walls. And then, like I said, I don't want to make everything the same color, so I did use the light birch wood as the floor on the inside, so no wood is the same. And here I began to kind of figure out what I wanted to do with the roof. It took me a while. You were watching this like in kind of sped up, but I wasn't really quite sure, so I did kind of come back a few times. And here I had the idea to make another kind of little dock, so the people that are coming to register their boats can walk straight in and not have to walk through the town. But I kind of had to think about it a little bit more, because I didn't want to make it too wide, but then I didn't want to make it too small also, because if I did put a fence around it, there would be either, you know, 1 walking room or 2 block walking room, and if it was 3 wide, then I thought that it would be just a little bit too wide, considering that boats will have to actually go through there. And now here I am fidgeting with the roof. I had no idea what I was trying to do. I did want to use the logs here, but in the end I didn't quite like it. I kept changing. Maybe I was thinking about, maybe I'll do like a pattern, so maybe, you know, and then I was kind of struggling, you know, maybe a different pattern with the wood, but ultimately I just scrapped the whole log idea and ended up just using the wooden stairs on the side, the dark wooden stairs, because it did look a little bit better. So here you see me just kind of filling out the roof, but like I said, I don't want to make it so plain where it's just a straight roof, so I ended up getting fence posts to kind of make it a little bit different, because I did want it to make it tall, so it kind of stood out in the town, because that is going to be kind of an important stop for anyone who visits by sea, I guess, because they would need to go in there and, you know, get like a marina license, you know, for parking in the boats and stuff like that, which I also need to figure out of where to actually dock these boats, because I realize that the area is pretty small, but it's not really meant for gigantic, you know, ships or anything like that. So I can probably just put just a few little docks to accommodate smaller boats and smaller ships and stuff like that. And this is pretty much the design that I came up with for this, I guess, registration house. It was okay. I was happy with it in the end, but it did take me some time to kind of figure out what I wanted to do with the roof and stuff like that, because I didn't really want to make it, you know, too plain. And here, this is what I was talking about. I was just kind of struggling with what I wanted to do with, you know, maybe it's too wide or too small, but I ended up using 3 wide on the side like I did with the main dock, and you see me walking back and forth. I realized that the window or the door wouldn't work on this side, so I ended up just putting a window and changing the door to this side also. I'm using kind of a bad mouse for building, so it takes me kind of a little bit longer to find the materials that I want, so that's kind of why I stop a few times, because the mouse that I'm using is literally crap. It's not my regular mouse that I use, so it does take me a little bit more time. I think my build would probably be maybe a little bit better and a little bit faster if I was using my, I guess, everyday mouse, but I can't really do that. Well, I could do that, but it would take, that would just be too much effort. So here's, you see me kind of just lighting up the area, because I realized that it would be extremely dark once it becomes nighttime, and you see the rain already started. But they're inside. See, I just wanted to put kind of just a desk, so people come in, talk to the guy, and there's a back door also, which I'm going to have to eventually figure out where to put the docks. So you see here me kind of extending the, I guess, market stall. Well, it's not going to be the marketplace, but the just smaller stall dock area. I didn't really want to make it too wide to kind of go in the register building. And then you see me here, which is basically when I started to kind of redo my idea of what that building was going to be. I extended the dock into it. I kind of thought of this as I was building, and here we go again with, I don't want to make everything too much the same color, so I end up using jungle wood half slabs there to just give it a little bit different coloring. And here we go, struggling with the stalls again. I wanted to kind of pretty much, my idea was to just have, you know, an easy stall with some, you know, fabric canvas type roof, but it just wasn't coming out like I thought it was going to. And then I realized that maybe they're too small, but you know, I just didn't really know. So you see me here extending them, because I did build stalls before and they came out pretty, I guess, normal looking, but I just couldn't really get this. I think it was just too small. So I was just very confused about what to do. You see me just pretty much walking around, and I changed my idea right here. I was just like, no, wool just won't work. So I started using wood again, wooden half slabs, but I just wasn't happy in the end of what was actually going on. So I ended up just kind of forgetting about it and just moving on to kind of actually start on this building, which, now that I think about it, I was gonna make it a storage, I guess a storage house type thing in the beginning, but I also thought about making it a pub because it is going to be kind of one of the first stops that people probably go to. But then, now that I'm thinking about it, because I do want to make it at least maybe 2 stories, and you see that there is room on the bottom, so I kind of want to make that maybe a pub down there, or like a underground bar type thing. But I'm just not really quite sure what I want to make it yet. But my idea so far is just to make it an inn, because I didn't actually plan that in the main, I guess, idea of this whole thing, that there would be no inn, and if people are traveling and want to visit it, they're gonna have to need somewhere to stay. So I think I'm gonna make this the inn with maybe the pub underneath, maybe make like a staircase leading underneath the inn, or have it next door and have the dock kind of connecting to that also, so people can easily just walk in instead of having to walk all the way around, like a pub, restaurant type thing. So this is pretty much the end of this video. If you have any suggestions of what you want me to build, please leave it in the comment section below, because like I said, I don't really know what I'm doing. I am building pretty much just out of my head, and any suggestions would be helpful. So this the series is going to be uploaded every Thursday, so I have enough time to kind of record it, or think of ideas, record it, edit it, and do the voiceover commentary. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. This is my first, I don't know, I guess, test video type thing using the Camera Studio mod, because though I've played with it, I never really used it to this extent, so please bear with me. It may not be the best video, but I'm going to try and work on it because I think it's a really cool mod. So yeah, thank you for your support, and I hope to see you guys next Thursday.